Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Agnia Prilika Riyanto. I am from Group 4 with my partners Nabila Dwi Oktavia and Nur Aini Latifah. We will deliver to you the topic about advertising of controversial products. And the first material, there is definition of advertising of controversial products itself that will be presented by me. Okay, let's start. What is advertising? Advertising is a field that includes elements from communication, science, and marketing, and its definition throughout the years is formed mainly from the perspective of the advertiser rather than the recipient of the message. So it can be said that advertising is a process which controls and influences the target audience, and it is a part of visual communication that contain image aspects. Thus, each company uses advertising for promoting itself or its image or its products and service. Consequently, the success of company is not only based on its advertisements, but it also depends on their consumers' perceptions, attitudes, and on their behavior broadly. In order to gain the consumer's attention, the advertisement has to be appealing, or it has to leave a strong impression on the recipient. For this matter, advertisers tend to use controversial advertisement. What do you think about controversy? Controversy is a state of prolonged public dispute or debate, usually concerning a matter of conflicting opinion or point of view. Because in advertisement it can be interpreted and the interpretation of its product, and it can be analyzed through many perspectives for consumer. Then, what is controversial advertisement? Controversial advertisement can be also known as shock appeals or shock advertising, provocative or offensive advertisement, that being more frequently used as advertisers attempt to find ways to attract attention in an increasingly competitive advertisement environment. So, controversial advertisement may involve the advertising of products perceived as controversial in their own right. It can be defined that controversial advertisement is to shock or offend audiences through the violation of norms. Advertising is one of the most important industries in our present society, since it acts as the major source of information for consumers about products which cause conflict in the public and become something to be debated. And a controversial product appear to be perceived as sensitive in many countries. So it can be said that the aim of the advertisers behind the controversial advertising is to gain prompt awareness in marketplace. Therefore, controversial products, image, poster, slogan, and message are deliberately used in advertisement. However, a controversial message can include a controversial product, and it depends on the targeted of the advertisement. But that is not always the case, because it has to be noted that controversy doesn't only exist in the advertisement. So, controversial advertisement can be shocking and offensive for a variety of reasons in many different ways. They can include a disregard for tradition, law, or practice such as obscenity, disregard for tradition, defiance of the moral code, vulgarity, brutality, or the display of images that are horrifying, terrifying, and violence. So, this form of advertising is often controversial, disturbing, explicit, and crass, and may entail bold and provocative political message that challenge the public's conventional social order. This may not only offend but can also frighten as well, using scare tactics and elements of fear to sell or deliver a product or deliver a public service message in making a high impact. Some reason appear to make and judgment as controversial products. And some advertisement that may be considered as shocking, controversial, or offensive, it's not because the way that the advertisement communicate their message, but because the products themselves are unmentionables and not to be openly presented in the public sphere. So, in advertising, many question the wisdom allowing of controversial goods and services to be promoted. So, it means that various types of products, both goods and services, have been being as controversial since it advertised. And this product that said as unmentionable is uh, such as cigarettes, alcohol, contraceptives, and so on. Moreover, Farm, Waller, and Endorgan in 2002 divided these controversial products into four groups. The first is gender or sex-related products, such as condoms, female contraceptives, male or female underwear, and feminine hygiene products. And the second is social or political groups, such as political parties, religious denomination, funeral service, and racially extreme groups, and guns or ornaments. And the third is addictive products, such as alcohol, cigarettes, and gambling. And the last is health and care products, such as charities, sexual disease, such as AIDS or STD prevention, and weight loss programs. Okay, that's all from me. The next material will be presented by the second presenter, that is Nabila Dwi Oktavia. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Nabila Dwi Oktavia as the second presenter. Here, I want to explain to you all about the same material with the previous presenter. Besides talking about definition of controversial advertising, there are the other things that support the element of controversial advertising. This factor is emotion. Emotion and advertising have a very significant relationship that appears controversial advertising. Emotion have a profound impact in advertising, and it is a major interest of marketers to use this in their client advantage. Emotion is reaction to stimuli that impact the immediate sensory environment in individual human, showing that emotions are essential for human function, and also that emotions are strongly related to attention, decision making, and memory. Researchers have found that emotion impact the allocation of resource to the visual system, especially when the stimuli is negative, as in controversial advertising. Advertising that evokes a wide range of emotion like happiness, sadness, love, hate, and anything, and has responses to this emotion provoked has a main goal of creating a relationship between customer and product or brand. At this time, there are many controversial advertisings. Controversial advertising aims to double the company's sale, so that the public who is not yet being a customer or does not know the product becomes more aware, then becomes a customer, so that it will further enhance the brand's level at the top level of the customer mind. One example of controversial advertising is tobacco advertising. Tobacco is a product that produces the highest wealth in Indonesia. Tobacco advertising is controversial because smoking is the nation's leading preventable cause of cancer and also cause of death. Tobacco is one of the most controversial advertisements because tobacco companies have enormous political and financial influence in Indonesia, becoming the largest source of the government revenue after oil, gas, and wood. Tobacco advertisement also generally intends for men with a symbol of masculinity, and also use a lifestyle for men. The main target of tobacco advertising is concerned to young people. This is unfortunate for some people because tobacco makes people addicted, and then tobacco advertising is an advantage for tobacco companies, especially in Indonesia. These tobacco advertisements are usually using dark color with adult element, so that is one thing that makes it very controversial. Now, an example of this advertisement is an advertisement like this. This advertisement is very controversial in terms of its meaning, which show male virility or masculinity. The masculinity can found from the slogan. The slogan is kreteknya laki. This sentence has the meaning of the connotation is that cigarettes are men. The other example, the controversy that made tobacco advertising so controversial was due to Indonesian political sarcasm. The advertisement was made to ask for a free life for the people. For example, like in this advertisement. This advertisement is clear that the sarcasm for the government from people, with a slogan written by the scriptwriter, and the slogan is mau hidup enak, usaha bukan basa-basi. That's all for me. The next example of controversial advertising will explained by the next presenter.
Hello guys, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Aini Latifah, and I'm going to continue my partner Nabila discussion about the kind of controversial advertisement that is tobacco advertisement. So the next, number 2 is alcohol advertisement. Guys, as you know, cigarettes and alcoholic advertising have traditionally been criticized, with concern being expressed over both the marketing of dangerous and addictive product and the targeting of women, teens, and minorities. Consumption of alcoholic beverage and cigarettes has been linked with serious public health concerns. So, that's why alcohol entered into controversial advertising. And I have one example for Bud Light hashtag up for whatever. So, let's see.
Joe, baby. Hello, Lily.
Hey, Don, how are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Nice to see you.
She's feeling under the weather.
Hi. Twins. Yes. This is a bizarre night. My mind is blown.
Prepare to be crushed in tiny penis.
Just give me 5 push-ups. I knew it. It's not a bad shot for my little princess.
Bud Light, the perfect beer for when Don Cheadle, Alumni Lily, and the identical twin of the girl you just met take you to a party where you defeat Arnold Schwarzenegger in a sudden death ping-pong match that puts you on stage with One Republic. Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens.
Bud Light hashtag up for whatever ads is the alcoholic commercial aired on television feature a series of short adverts for a man who finally played table tennis with actor Arnold Schwarzenegger in the concert group One Republic. There is no violence, and there is also no expletive and doesn't violate politeness. And what's wrong with the end? Guys, alcoholic is considered as one of the main triggers in the case of rape. So this aid is not a good idea to promote their peer, and fewer consider this advertisement to promote effort to encourage and support rape. And next, number three is bans and counter advertising. Counter advertising is advertisement that respond to other ads. Ads that don't pass the advertising requirements, didn't pass permission, or advertisement bans or prohibited or rejected in advertising, but didn't affect the marketing. So there is no problem with the product purchased by consumer. Like for example, cigarettes. Pure bintang, right? Contraception and something like that. Or the ad is still there but the product is not shown. For example, cigarette advertisement usually don't show the product or only show the brand, and the contents of the ad content are things that are out of context. And I have one example, and let's see. Okay, that's an example of a cigarette ad, and you can see there are no product displayed, right? No product, like, but the product are still being traded. It's just that the ads are not allowed. And now the last, number 4, is pharmaceutical advertising. However, commercial message promoting prescription drugs were typically directed at physicians and at one time appeared only in the trade journals, and most of marketing has focused on situations in which consumers have a problem they can readily identify themselves, such as birth control, hair growth, or allergy relief. And for example, antibiotics. And a medicine that must be in accordance with a doctor prescription to other, and TV commercial for prescription drugs doing more harm than good. And direct-to-consumer drugs ads often violate federal rules and are unreliable and potentially misleading. And so guys, I think that's all from our presentation, and I'm so sorry if there's a lot of mistakes, and if you have any question you can write on the column comment. And guys, I know you're bored now because you always stay at home, but yeah guys, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, and please stay at home guys. And last, thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.